Hey, innovators and creators. Have you ever wondered, why do some people rise to extraordinary heights while others stay stuck at the surface? In Mastery by Robert Greene, we discover that greatness is not about luck or genius. It's about discipline, practice, and the courage to keep learning even when the world misunderstands you. In Part 2, we'll explore how independence, social intelligence, creativity, and persistence through Edison, Franklin, Graham, and Bruce Lee turn ordinary lives into mastery. If you haven't seen Part 1, where we uncovered the early paths of famous masters and what it truly takes to begin your journey, be sure to click the I button above and catch up first. Welcome back to Read with Joy, where books spark bold change. Let's begin. Chapter 11, Thomas Edison, Reversing the Need for a Mentor. Why would someone break away from mentorship entirely? Because the goal of mentorship is to eventually stand on your own. True mastery begins when you stop copying and start creating. Thomas Edison once worked under a top telegraph engineer, but he quickly realized he didn't fit the role of a traditional apprentice. Too restless, too experimental, he broke away and built his own lab at Menlo Park. There, with teams and endless trial and error, he created over 1,000 patents, from the light bulb to the phonograph. Edison proved that sometimes the best mentor isn't a person. It's the process of relentless experimentation. Lesson: real mastery begins when you build your own path. Chapter 12, See People as They Are, Social Intelligence. Why do we struggle with people even when we're skilled at our work? Because we misread intentions and underestimate social dynamics. Mastery requires understanding people as deeply as we understand our craft. Benjamin Franklin wasn't born into power, he built it. As a young printer, he learned that intellect alone wasn't enough. People skills were the real currency. Franklin mastered humility, avoided needless fights, and even used the clever Ben Franklin effect, asking rivals for small favors to turn them into allies. With this charm and diplomacy, he rose from printer to statesman, proving that influence is often about mastering people, not just ideas. Lesson: to master your craft, master people first. Chapter 13, Mastering the Social Game. Why do talented people often get ignored? Because they fail to navigate egos and power games. Success is as much about presence as it is about skill. Teresita Fernández, a renowned visual artist, knew that talent alone wouldn't open doors in the elite art world. She crafted a calm, thoughtful presence, spoke with clarity, and let her art reflect deeper meaning. This blend of strategy and persona made her one of the few Latina artists to win the MacArthur Genius Grant. It proves that success isn't just about creating art, but mastering the stage on which it's judged. Lesson: talent opens the door, but presence keeps it open. You've learned that mastery isn't just about skills. It's about independence, people, and presence. Ask yourself, am I focusing only on my craft, or am I also mastering the way I connect, present, and stand on my own? Chapter 14, Paul Graham, The Reversal of Being Misunderstood. Why are breakthrough thinkers often dismissed? Because society distrusts what it doesn't yet understand. Masters persist until the world catches up. In the early 2000s, Paul Graham was a quiet computer scientist and painter who co-founded ViaWeb, one of the first web-based software platforms. Though innovative, his casual, anti-business style made many dismiss him. After selling ViaWeb to Yahoo, he turned to writing essays that soon became a Bible for young founders. By 2005, he co-founded Y Combinator, launching companies like Dropbox, Airbnb, and Reddit. Graham's power didn't come from fitting in. It came from embracing his difference and reinventing mentorship for startups. Lesson: don't fear being misunderstood. Use it as fuel for change. Chapter 15, Awaken the Dimensional Mind, the Creative Active. Why do we get bored after mastering basics? Because our minds crave expansion, not repetition. Real growth begins when we reshape the rules. Martha Graham began in classical ballet, but felt trapped by its rigid rules. She wanted raw emotion, not just perfect technique. So she created her own choreography, sharp, expressive, and unlike anything audiences had seen. At first, critics mocked her. But she persisted, blending movement with deep psychology and mentoring future legends like Merce Cunningham. Over time, Graham redefined dance itself, proving that true innovation comes from mastering tradition before breaking it. Lesson: first master the old, then reshape it into the new. Chapter 16, Creative Strategies for Innovation. Why does creativity vanish when we force originality? Because real creativity comes from openness, not control. Breakthroughs happen when we follow unexpected paths. Louis Pasteur wasn't trying to invent vaccines, he was studying animal diseases. In 1879, his team accidentally left bacteria cultures exposed. When tested on chickens, they didn't die, they became immune. Pasteur realized weakened germs could protect against deadly ones, leading to the first lab-made vaccine. His genius wasn't strict control, it was staying open to accidents that changed medicine forever. Lesson: stay open, accidents can spark revolutions. Now reflect this. In your work, do you seek only approval, or are you willing to be misunderstood, break rules, and embrace accidents on the way to innovation? Chapter 17, Creative Breakthrough, Tension to Insight. Why do ideas arrive after frustration? Because tension forces the brain into new connections. Breakthroughs often follow struggle. Évariste Galois was just 20, a French mathematician rejected by the academic elite. On the eve of a duel he knew could kill him, he stayed up all night frantically writing his mathematical ideas. Those scribbled notes became the foundation of group theory, revolutionizing algebra decades after his death. Galois' brilliance shone brightest in his final desperate hours, turning tension into timeless insight. Lesson: when stuck, remember, pressure can unlock genius. Chapter 18, Coltrane and Amp Strindberg, The Reversal of Suffering into Genius. Why do some people grow more creative in pain? Because they channel suffering into work instead of escape. Pain transforms into power when given purpose. John Coltrane was a brilliant saxophonist, but addiction nearly destroyed him. After being fired by Miles Davis in 1957, he locked himself away and fought through a brutal cold turkey detox. What emerged was a new Coltrane, spiritual, disciplined, and driven. In the next decade, he transformed jazz with albums like A Love Supreme, turning inner chaos into music of profound depth. His suffering didn't silence him. It became the source of his genius. Lesson: suffering can crush you, or create your greatest work. Chapter 19, Fuse Intuition with Rationality, Mastery. Why does mastery look like magic? Because it blends instinct with logic. Years of practice turn effort into effortless flow. Marcel Proust didn't begin his masterpiece In Search of Lost Time until his late 30s. Sickly and anxious, he lived in isolation, but quietly spent years collecting emotions and studying memory. Then, a simple taste of a Madeleine dipped in tea unlocked a flood of childhood memories and the spark for his 7-volume novel. What seemed like sudden inspiration was really a lifetime of reflection. Proust's genius lay in turning memory into one of the most profound explorations of human consciousness ever written. Lesson: mastery is logic plus instinct, woven into flow. Think again. When facing pressure, pain, or intuition, do you run from it, or do you channel it into deeper growth and insight? Chapter 20, Strategies for Attaining Mastery. Why do people stop short of greatness? Because they fail to unify persistence, intuition, and knowledge. True mastery is a lifelong fusion. Bruce Lee began in traditional Wing Chun, but quickly grew restless with rigid styles. He studied boxing, fencing, philosophy, even dance, searching for deeper truth in movement. From this, he created Jeet Kune Do, a martial art built on adaptability and self-expression. Lee trained relentlessly, wrote about mindset, and fused tradition with innovation. His mastery wasn't just about fighting, it was about refining body and mind into a symbol of human potential. Lesson: mastery is not an end, it's a lifelong evolution. That's a wrap on Mastery by Robert Greene, a book that reminds us greatness isn't born overnight, but built through patience, resilience, and daring creativity. From Edison's independence to Franklin's diplomacy, from Graham's reinvention to Bruce Lee's lifelong evolution, we've seen that mastery is not a destination, but a path. Now here's a reflection for you. What's one small step you'll take today to move closer to mastering your craft? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If this video sparked inspiration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And for deeper insights, check out 40+ book summaries at www.readwithjoy.in or email us for a physical copy. Until next time, stay curious, stay disciplined, and keep pursuing mastery.